now because I've now had the opportunity to sit down and binge Ironheart, I can safely say it's nowhere near as bad as I've heard people say. It's not the best MCU show ever, but it's far from the worst one. Like if I were to just give my immediate ranking right now, this falls into the middle ground of MCU shows. This is not as good as something like Loki, Miss Marvel, WandaVision. Um, what were a couple other ones I thought were really good? Uh, Honestly, yeah, those are probably like your best Marvel shows. Honestly, take the what ifs out of the equation, but it's far better than something like Secret Invasion or She-Hulk. Oh, you know what? It's Agatha all along. I'd say it's better than this too. But it's far better than like a She-Hulk or a Secret Invasion. I'd say this is better than Hawk. I would probably put this in the same camp of quality as the Falcon and the Winter Soldier or maybe Moon Knight. Now, Moon Knight definitely suffered near the end, but I liked most of Moon Knight up until that finale, which they just rushed and just a lot of unanswered questions in that finale. That's where I think I'd put Ironheart. It does have a lot going for it. It does. I do like the base concept of it. Riri Williams Ironheart, building her own suit, and then getting kicked out for doing her own illegal shit, and rightfully so. And then like being down and out, being the unseen talent who's just not given the opportunity, finally given the opportunity, even if it is through shady means. And then the ramifications that come for that. On base concept, I like that. I will say this, all the performers are doing perfectly fine. Like, there's no bad performance in the show. I actually really like the actress playing Natalie a lot. I like the character of Natalie. I felt bad for, what is it, Ensign Elgort? No, I keep saying Ensign Elgort. It's not Ensign Elgort. Who is Ezekiel Stain? What is his name? I know that actor's name too, and I'm gonna find it eventually. I swear to God, I'm gonna find it. Alden Ehrenreich. I keep saying Ensign Elgort. It's Alden Ehrenreich. He played young Han Solo. I actually liked his story. I do think that they really do play up the more awkward, timid nature of him. Even when he does get confidence, he's still kind of just that awkward guy next door. I dug Anthony Ramos as the Hood. He took some getting used to. The Hood is a little dopey looking. But as we get a little farther in the series and more with the story, that did work out well. And obviously Sacha Baron Cohen showing up near at the last episode as Mephisto. That was really good too. I mean, he kind of sold that. Like, he was just having a really good time. And I hope that we see more of him. I think the action sequences are fine. I didn't mind the heist stuff. It's not the best heisting I've seen in movies. Hell, Ant-Man series are far better heist movies than this heist show, kind of. I also like the community of her friends and family that Riri keeps around her. I do like that as well. So I do like the premise. I do like the concept. There are definitely aspects and character interactions I like. But, and this is a really big but, a show lives and dies on its lead. And you got to make me invested in that lead character. You got to make me care on some level. And I found it really, really, really hard to like Riri. And that's not a casting problem. That is not a casting problem. Now, by the way, I'm not saying the story's perfect before I get into Riri more. There are things I didn't quite love about this. Like, for example, Dominic Thorne, who plays Riri, a lovely girl. She's 27, by the way. Holy crap. She plays 16 really well. Or, around 18. She's a Tom Holland. She plays that. I believed she was a lot younger than that. She's 27. Damn. I'd have a shot. No, but that's beside the point. And then the problem is, what's his name? Not Gary, is it? Not Gary. What's the name of the guy she was friends with, who was the young brother of her dead friend? Point being, that they're probably both in the same age range in reality. He looked at least 5 years older than her. Like, I'm sorry, like I get that they're trying. I get that Gary. No, that's Gary. I want the guy who played her friend slash kind. Oh, Matthew of Xavier. That was his name. Yeah, how old is he? Matthew Alam. How old is he now? Because I'm sorry, and maybe it's just the fact that he's taller and he did the facial hair and all that, but he looked a lot older than her. Not like an extreme age gap. Not like, say, 30 years old or anything like that. But I would not be lying and say because she looks as young as she does, and because he looked older, he looked a good decade older than her. Let's see here. How old is he? Not contact info. Um, Actor. Seriously, there's got to be a bio on him somewhere. You know what? I don't. I just copy his name and then put it in the thing here because I can't find this guy's. I can't find this guy's age at the moment. But anyway, yeah, so whenever I'm getting a scene of them kind of, feeling each other, kind of flirting, got the emotions going, I'm like, I'm not feeling it because this guy looks it looks, frankly, again, a full decade older than her, which again, they're probably not that dissimilar in terms of their actual real age in real life. And great, now nothing's freaking responding at the moment. I hate when my computer does this. I know why it's doing it. It's because there's an encoding overload. Consider turning down the video set. Bite me, computer, just bite me. But yeah, I didn't feel that. I did not really feel chemistry with them in the traditional sense. I did not, and I didn't really feel like they belong. They just felt off. It just felt off. Okay, he is. Do we not have an age on this guy? Oh, okay. He was born 1991, so that would mean he's about the same age as my sister. So that means he's about 30 something. Okay, so he is older than her in real life, but they're technically within the same age range. But again, I don't buy it. I do not buy it. Like, Riri's supposed to be at best, I think. Actually, did they ever actually say how? Like, they say she went to college like 15, but did they actually say how old Riri really is? I don't believe they do give an actual age for her. So I'm gonna guess she's probably not even 18 yet. Hell, they even say she hasn't even had her first kiss yet. That means he's young, and he's supposed to be what? Wait, hold on. Yeah, they even said Natalie was supposed to be his older sister, and he looks older than Riri by a good mile. Like, what? I think you got the casting wrong on this, guys. So yeah, there was that problem. I did like the fact introducing the mystical elements because her whole series is a little bit more tech versus mysticism, especially when her opponent's the Hood. So there is that, and I like the fact that trying to incorporate mysticism into her tech has its drawbacks. But again, there's minor. I liked her mom. I did like her whole family unit, like I said. So there's a lot of the show I like, but I wasn't digging on the. I didn't like it. Like, as characters, they're fine, and they do get a laugh here or there. Like, I do like that joke in the White Castle. It's like, oh, looks like you're going to be on the news. My destiny not going to make news. Oh, damn, I felt that. Yeah, I like, seriously, in my soul. Holy crap. Like, I got a good laugh out of that. But I'm like, I don't, and like, Shea Coulee is fine. Like, the other group, was it, what's their name? Joker. I actually kind of dig Joker's character a little bit. But I'm not invested in this crew because I'm not buying this crew as a legitimate threat, as a crew that could actually get their job done. Yes, there are plenty of. Honestly, this seems like the type of crew I literally just watched, because I've never actually watched the movie. I meant to see it and I never got around to see it. Triple X: The Return to Xander Cage. And I watched it, I'm like, wow, This isn't that good. Fun. It's a fun movie, not that good. But this is literally the crew he would have put together. Not someone who's really trying to be a criminal mastermind and all that. Like this is Zane Cage's crew. And even then it's kind of the God. Sorry, 1 second. Go stop it. And even then, it's like the discount version of the crew he would put together. So I didn't love the crew. They had their moments, but I wasn't digging on that. But man, and the showrunner even came out and said this about Riri's character. I did not like Riri a lot. But there were times they were starting to build her back up into like, okay, I do enjoy her. I'm like, okay, she's starting to kind of learn her lesson. I am enjoying the bonding moment she has with like Natalie and her mom and stuff like. But then she completely, she just freaking spirals, man. She crashes out and just says, "Hey, her mom is flat out right when she says you've never dealt with it. I'm not you. I'm not gonna face it head on. I'm not gonna deal with it like you. Yeah, because the way you've been dealing with it is so much more effective. Like it's clear to me how young Riri is, and Obadiah Stane, yeah, Ezekiel, all this flat out says like you're a kid. You don't understand. You do things. You just do them. You don't understand the consequence of your actions or the effects they have on other people. And even the creator of the show said, "Yeah, no, Riri. That's a part of Riri's character is she doesn't grasp the consequences her actions have. She just does things. And you know what? There is a way to do that and still make your character endearing. I'm trying to think of a character most recently, or just off the top of my head, who fits that mold of a character who's not understanding the consequences of their actions and how it affects people, but you still like them. Let me see if I can think of that in just Marvel real quick, actually. Like, honestly, you know what? I didn't start out liking Kate Bishop, but Kate Bishop falls into that example of her consequences kind of had some, her actions kind of had some consequences. But it ultimately worked out in the end. And I did ultimately come around to liking Kate. I did. So I think that would definitely be a character who falls into that category in the MCU of someone who's doesn't quite, has branching consequences of their actions, but you still like them. Riri is really hard to like at points. In fact, there's points where I do not like this character. When she is bitching her mom out, I'm like, you have not earned this at all. Like, not at all. Now, again, to the show's credit, they are kind of showing, no, Riri hasn't earned it. And they keep saying, no, you're the problem, Riri. You are. But never once does Riri actually learn from it. Except for the fact, she like says, I know I can be difficult and don't show up, but thank you for everything. Like, great, what acknowledgement. Wonderful. But beyond that, like, I get the idea, and I don't mind the idea of someone without means resorting to illegal means to try to get something done. But here's the problem with that. Riri's not doing it for selfless reasons. Scott Lang is the perfect antithesis to this. Scott Lang, criminal, but he was actually basically a poor man's Robin Hood. He's actually got good tech skills. And when he tried to go back to crime, he was doing it to try to support his daughter. Riri is doing it for selfish reasons, and that is not a likable character. I wish they could interpret her in a way that I liked more, but they're just not. She's not likable. She's mean to Natalie a lot of the time. And I mean, to be fair, when she first makes Natalie, I would have been freaked out too if I was dreaming and my mother popped up. I'm like, what? Like, no, like I would have been freaked out too. But being, I suppose genius, maybe you could have figured out that, hey, I was sleeping, it scanned my brain, I was dreaming of Natalie, and so it made Natalie, based off my memories, It's not that hard. It's not that complex of a thing to figure out. I'm not a genius, and I figured it out. Maybe though that's an indication the show's not the best written, though. So, like, seriously. And then the constantly asked question of, You could build anything. Why build an Iron Man suit? Because I could. Because I can. That's not an answer. He's like, I want to build something iconic. I'm sorry. You need better script writing for this. You really do. Because that is a piss poor. And then when she finally explains it, like she explained how she wanted to improve on the Stark effort, but then her mom finally gets the answer out of her. It's like, it's the only thing I think to build to protect us. Great, just don't try to make it your own, or don't pass it off as your own. Because frankly, even though her armor is somewhat different than Tony's, it quite frankly isn't all that. It really isn't different enough to say, hey, I want to build something iconic and make it my own. Like, all you have is an Iron Man suit that you personally built. Guess what? Freaking Whiplash was able to build his own version of that too. Like, despite the fact that Tony's suit is Tony's suit, and it has only ever been Tony's suit. Like, the Iron Man suit is Tony's suit. They're not impossible to replicate within the world of the MCU. There's nothing quite like Tony's specific suits. So you get someone who's clearly got a chip on her shoulder, doesn't care about the rules, doesn't care about how her actions affect people until they actually affect them. Like, you just get a character that is unfortunately not well written, or not likably written. That's the thing. I get having struggles. I get this, and for what it's worth, I do like that end. That very ballsy end where the hero does make a deal with the devil. And she thinks it's going to bring her AI back, but in actuality, he one-upped her and brought her actual friend back. Like, I appreciate the fact that we have a hero, we'll call her a hero, she ultimately did the right thing, that did make a bad choice. And she's still got to learn from these mistakes. Like, the idea that a hero that constantly keeps making the wrong decision is kind of interesting. I just wish our hero was someone I could root for, to be honest. Because frankly, I couldn't root for Riri a lot of the time, because it's the Sokka syndrome. Your life is going to be full of struggle. Most of it self-inflicted. She is her own worst enemy. Like, 100% she is. She's young, she's naive, she's bullheaded, and that bit her in the ass a lot. And I think it bites us as a viewer in the ass a lot. Now, again, I want to be very clear. I do not hate the character Riri. I just don't like her that much. Because there are times where I really did, or was actually having a good time. When she had to defend herself against the crew, I actually had a good time with that. Like, she tried to put up face, but no. Like, in a straight fight, she can't beat them. She's got to use her wits, and she outwits them, and using the bubble energy ball. I did like that. Like, I do like her interactions when I actually like the Natalie Riri relationship. I do. I heard some people say that wasn't something they didn't dig on. I actually thought it was one of the stronger parts of the series. And then the whole it does raise the question of AI. Like, if you do actually create AI, do you have the right to just shut it off? Because technically speaking, it is sentient. It actually, it thinks, it feels on some level. So do you have the right to just adios it? Like, I did like that question that came up when her brother saw this and just kind of freaked out. I will say it was a little rightfully so on his part, but I will also say, like, he jumped down her throat. That I was actually in full defense of Riri, except for the shutting down. Like, even the concerns, like, would you consider it? Yeah, you'd probably consider it. I was actually on Riri's side in that moment because, whoa, dude, okay, look, I get it, but you're not letting her explain. And I get it. Emotional raw, you see her and you're like, that's my dead sister. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? Like, I get it. Like, this is wrong. Like, I'm holding on this to her memories and all that stuff. Like, yeah, and then your damn headphones short out. Like, see, here's the problem. Now, again, people aren't going to be using their logical brains in this scenario. I would be hard-pressed to do it, too. And I'm someone who can generally use his brain logically in a scenario like that. But even I'd be like, Even I'd go, whoa, 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 whoa. This is her version. First off, she keeps saying she did not mean to do this, but you're not listening. You're just so wrapped up in your own BS at the moment. And yeah, like, look, I might sound mean saying that. No, it's your own bull. It's your own feelings, and your own feelings right now are bull. That's exactly it, because you're not the only one with feelings in this scenario. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah. So there were definitely moments I was rooting for Riri. I'm not saying I was completely against Riri, because they did. It was really like a roller coaster. I start out kind of liking her, then I start not liking her, then I start liking her, then I start to actually really like her. Then I don't like her, and then I really don't like her. I'm not on hate level, but I'm there. And then I kind of get stuck in the middle ground. Like, I still don't love this character, but I respect the choices they made at the end with her. So it was a kind of a roller coaster with this character for me, really. Overall, like I said, I put this in the middle tier of the MCU TV shows, miniseries, whatever you want to call them. It's middle of the road. If they did a season 2, I would be interested, because I want to see more Sacha Baron Cohen, which I'm sure we'll get. You don't get to just introduce Mephisto and say, oh yeah, he's just going to be a one-off. No, you're not. You've been teeing him up for a while now. Some say he's been an agent. Some say she's an agent of Mephisto. Yeah, no, you've been teeing him up for a while. So you don't just, and you got Sacha Baron Cohen. So you don't one and done him. You're gonna see Mephisto again at some point. At some point. Either way, though, that's my thoughts. What did you think of the series? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Were you like me? Or were you like, I think I enjoyed it. There's problems with it, though. Or is it one of those, I don't think I enjoyed it, but I acknowledge there's some good stuff in there. Is it two middle of the roads, one extreme or the other? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, though. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.